Hello everyone, in this video, I will be assembling a battery pack for a solar power station. I'll show all the assembly stages and what components we'll need for this build. This will be a 5 kilowatt system. I ordered cells. These are the cells, 105 amps, 3.2 volts, lithium iron phosphate. I'll leave a link. I ordered these on Alibaba. You can also order cells like these on AliExpress. There are 16 of them in total. I need them for a solar power station. The inverter operates at 48 volts, and to get 48 volts, I needed 16 cells. I've connected some of them. These are the steel bus bars that come with the battery. But I didn't think they were very good, so I cut strips from a copper bus bar, drilled holes, and made these thick copper bus bars for connecting the cells. I needed 15 of them here, because with these ones, which are just ordinary steel, there would be significant losses, so I decided not to use them. What else will we need? You understand about the 16 cells. Next, we'll need protection, a BMS board. I ordered this one from Jikong. It's a 150 amp unit, and it has a built-in active balancer. It protrudes here. I'll include a photo of it disassembled. So here there are capacitors that equalize the voltage between the cells. What other options are there? Here I have, for example, you can use balancers with just passive ones, which are resistor-based balancing, but they won't be able to equalize the voltage. You can use a separate active balancer separately. They are connected in parallel. This BMS is for protection, charging, discharging, various other functions. There's also temperature protection. And this is our balancing board. It equalizes the voltage between the cells. And they are installed in parallel. You can also buy another type. I'll show you an example. Here's a board like this. It's an active balancer. The function is the same. This one is just small with a 1 amp balancing current, so it will balance slowly. But this board is 5 amps, so it will be faster. But the cost of this BMS and an active balancer will be quite substantial. I'll leave links in the description, check them out to see how much everything costs. But this will be the most expensive option with a large active balancer. The cheapest option is a built-in balancer, but it will be 1 amp, meaning its power will be like this small board. But here everything is integrated, so it will be cheaper. So I'll install it here. We'll connect the BMS. Next I'll show you how everything connects. And we'll also need a circuit breaker. I'll install a 100 amp circuit breaker. I don't have a larger one. A DC circuit breaker. This one is up to 800 volts and 100 amps. Well, I'll try it. 100 amps should be enough. This is for 5 kilowatts. So if the load is 5 kilowatts, consumption, if it exceeds that, it should trip. Well, I think it will be enough. If 100 amps trips, say, during some peak loads, then I'll replace it with a 125 amp one. I'll install it here, and I'll run the wires out. The inverter will hang higher up. This is a regular kitchen cabinet. I made a double shelf because it was sagging. There's plenty of space here. I ordered more cells. I'll just add them in parallel later to increase the capacity. So this is for 5 kilowatts. I'll add more. There will be another 16 cells, making a 10 kilowatts reserve. In short, if that's still not enough, I'll add another shelf and more can be added here. But that will be later. For now, we'll assemble these 16 and see how it all works. And now, what else do we need? We need to put terminals on the wires. I have used wires, I have wires, pieces, various ones. I'll cut longer ones as needed. For the inverter, to connect it, the BMS has 2 parallel 10 square millimeter wires, meaning 20 square millimeters total. And I also took 10 square millimeter wire. I'll run 2 of them in parallel, 2 for positive and 2 for negative. and connect them to the inverter. I'll need to make terminals here. I've already made the terminals. First, I bought ready-made ones. So these are factory terminals, and these I made myself from copper tubing. Simply, the quality turned out to be that these homemade terminals are twice as heavy, they have a thicker wall, they are made from tubing, and the homemade ones have metal that is twice as thick. And therefore, the homemade terminals are more reliable, stronger than these factory-made ones by the Chinese, which are, in short, lightweight. That's why I made my own terminals from copper tubing. These are for the inverter, and these are for connecting the cells. Here we put them on. For the BMS, I made and installed these mounts. These were from rear view cameras. I had these brackets. We'll mount it here. I've already prepared the holes. There will be just enough space for ventilation between the wall. Well, first we'll need to connect the balancing wires, because later it will be inconvenient to insert the connectors. The balancing wires are connected sequentially. Here, our first wire is black. It goes to the negative. It connects to the outermost negative terminal, and together with the main power wire, it will be connected to the negative. And then we go in order. Positives to each cell, and we connect the positives consecutively like this. Here the BMS is for 20 cells, so the last 4 wires here are extra. They don't connect anywhere, they just remain. I won't connect them. And for the wires that we need, I've made these terminals for them. We'll put them on the batteries. And here, the last wire, B+, here it is. It's connected to the 16th wire. And the last positive will go to the positive terminal of the battery. And it's also recommended to first disconnect these connectors before connecting, then connect the wires in order, check them, and only then insert the connector. Because if you mix up a wire, you can burn out the BMS. So we first connect everything, and only then insert the connector into the BMS.
Проверить, а потом уже вставлять разъем, потому что если перепутать провод, можно спалить БМС-ку. Поэтому мы сначала все подключаем, а потом уже вставляем разъемчик в БМС-ку.
Let's start with the negative wire. On the BMS, it's labeled B battery, and the negative wire, we connect it here. And from this harness, we take the black wire with the terminal, also put it on and screw it in. I'll tighten it with a wrench at the end. Our next wire is in order. We take the next positive and we connect it to the positive of the same cell. We screw it in as well. Then we take the next one and screw it to the positive of the next cell. And so on for all 16 cells. Here's the last balancing wire for the positive. It comes with 2 small wires, and this positive, it goes to the output for the inverter. Here I've prepared the wire. It will go through the circuit breaker. The positive one. Here we join them. The positive is connected, and we connect this one. The wire will go behind the batteries. We'll hide it. Now we connect the connectors. Here the large one is inserted first. Then the second smaller one. Connected one, connected the second. Alright, the BMS is now powered. Power has gone to it. Also, there's a button like this included in the kit. I don't know, it probably turns the BMS on and off. Let's check now. We'll connect it. I haven't tried it yet. Here's the connector for it. It's inserted like this. There, we've turned on the BMS. The LED lit up,
светодиод.
and the backlight is also on here. If you press and hold, the BMS turns off.
Нажать, то БМС-ка отключается.
There we turn it on again.
Заново.
This is our output to the inverter.
Вектор я
I'm connecting it here to the circuit breaker.
подключаю.
Negative. And the positive.
Плюсовой. Плюс. Вот клемма плюс.
Positive. Here's the positive terminal. And from here, the wires will go to the inverter. And we need to download the app and see what's happening in the app.
Посмотреть, что там происходит в приложении.
All parameters should be displayed. Well, and we'll need to check if it's configured correctly. That is, the battery type and voltage. Now we'll check in the app. We download the app using the QR code.
По QR-коду. Вот он.
Here it is on the instructions on both sides, and also on the BMS casing.
БМС-ки.
There's also a QR code there. You can scan it. There we're scanning. We go to the website.
Сайт.
And here's the link for Android.
И для андроида вот ссылочка.
The app is called JKMS,
Называется Jikong BMS.
and we download it.
И скачиваем его.
We open the app.
Приложение.
Here it will ask for various permissions, and then in Bluetooth.
И вот в Bluetooth.
Ah, there it is. The BMS was found. The password was in the instructions, written as 1234.
В инструкции был написан 1, 2, 3, 4.
We enter and see what it shows us.
И смотрим, что у нас показывает.
Battery voltage is 53.64 volts. Here's the voltage it shows for each cell. 16 cells. So the lowest is 3.35 and 2. The rest will be slightly higher. So our first cell is the weakest.
3,35,2. Вот остальные чуть побольше будут. То есть у нас первая самая слабенькая ячейка.
Here we set the battery capacity. So all these parameters will need to be set. My battery here is 105 amp hours. Here you also need to enter a password.
Надо еще также вводить пароль.
No, that's the wrong password. The password for settings 123456 is also in the instructions. 123456.
4, 5, 6. Заходим.
We enter, and here 105. Okay, our battery type is lithium iron phosphate. Here an icon is flashing indicating that the settings most likely for balancing are not set.
Тип батареи у нас литий-железофосфат. И здесь мигает значок, что настройки, скорее всего, балансировки не выставлены.
There are a lot of different parameters here. In short, this needs to be clicked through. Well, basically, the main things are clear. The balancing current is 100 milliamperes. You can set it higher. Our BMS here is 1 amp. You can set a maximum of 1 amp.
1 ампер. Можно максимум поставить на 1 ампер.
Well, the other parameters can be figured out later. Temperatures are set here. There are 2 temperature sensors on wires.
Параметры можно позже разобраться. Здесь есть температуры выставляются. Здесь 2 датчика температуры на проводках.
You can attach one to the BMS or insert it between the battery cells, but they won't get hot.
Генераторов ставить, но они греться не будут.
With such a large capacity, I think it will be difficult to heat them up. Well, that's basically it. All that's left is to connect everything to the inverter and it will work. This is the 5 kilowatts power bank that resulted. Everything is connected, installed.
Все подключено, установлено.
The balancing wires I hid in a cable channel.
В кабель-канал.
Everything is tightened, connected. Links to all components will be in the description. Check them out, order them. Thanks everyone for watching.
Просмотр.
Bye everyone.